Hey everybody, this is Rudy with Alpha Investments. Welcome back. I'm going to talk about some interesting things today that I think is pretty cool. I kind of want to focus on what's going on in kind of the Magic news world. And we're going to call it, I guess, the standard rotation, Wizards backpedal. I don't know how you guys want to look at it. There's a lot of speculation on it. I have a lot of questions and a lot of conspiracy things. So, yes, I can guarantee everybody in this video, damn straight, conspiracy hats coming out. Because I think when companies make large decisions, and especially when a company backpedals, when a company reverses a decision, I don't think people realize how intense something must have come about to make a company actually reverse course, to kind of be like, oh, my bad, we fucked up, our bad, sorry about it. That's what happens when we rush shit. You know, when you rush things, you fuck up. You know, I feel like nobody really puts the weighting on when companies backpedal, because it takes a lot to make a company reverse course. A lot. Companies do not want to back up, because that admits, like Brian said, and you know, it admits wrongdoing. It admits, hey, shit, back it up, back it up, back it up. You know, that's not easy for companies to do. And that's like a last resort thing. So, I think there's a lot of conspiracies on why everybody thinks it actually happened. Some people think that, you know, they realize the mistake, standard's going too quick. Some people think it's the pack sale. There's all these different theories going on. And I overall, I do think it's the right direction. I do. The million-dollar question is, we all know it's the right direction. But the billion-dollar question is, what the hell happened to make them really backpedal? I don't know. I think shit got rushed. When shit gets rushed, and the company's so damn big, and Hasbro's rushing shit out, pumping that crap, when they do that, there's side effects. There's collateral damage. There's unexpected results. There's, hey, isn't that a Return to Rav card? Or somewhere? There's things that happen that I don't think anybody can really anticipate or even comprehend until it actually happens. And I think this is one of those perfect examples. I really do. You know, I've been watching a lot of people's opinions on this, and I'm, you know, talked to a few people on the phone. Everyone has their own conspiracy theory. You know, whenever we talk conspiracy theories, that's why we got to get the tinfoil hat out. Because nobody really knows the answers. In corporations of any shape, size, field, I don't care what area or industry you're in, they're never going to tell you the real reason. And once you understand and accept that, I think it's easier to move forward with, okay, this is what they're doing, how does it affect me, am I going to change anything, do I give a shit, is it something good, is it something bad? I mean, you know, I've watched everybody else's videos I've seen. I think I watched like 10 people's videos on it so far, everyone from Jeremy to Brian to Desolator to a lot of people. Everyone's got different opinions on it. The thing is, I kind of think everybody's right, but what was the core main reason that Wizards was wrong to make everybody right that they did it? I think everybody is partially right, but we don't know what the number one motive was. We don't know who it is, and they'll never disclose it. So, faster rotation on sets. You know, Wizards is so big now. They have so much money and power behind them because of Hasbro. And they pump out all these random crazy-ass sets. And the sets are fucking beautiful. We know that. The shit is nice. That's not really... Nobody argues right now. Nobody. Nobody is going around town with signs going, Kaladesh is ugly. Wizard sucks. Nobody's doing that. Everybody bitches and complains about print runs, reserved lists, you know, expected values, the speed of standard, I spent my money, now it's worthless, it rotated. You know, this typical stuff, which is fine. That means it's healthy. These are all people who are upset because they have passion for the game, and they want to see it be sustainable. They want it for the long haul. If none of us on YouTube making videos and all this stuff, if none of us gave a shit, no matter what all of our opinions are, if none of us cared, nobody would make a video on it. You wouldn't see anybody. Everybody would be like, hey, Rudy, did you hear what happened? Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Going to Taco Bell. What? Oh. Anyway, so I guess I should do more than a 2-minute video. But, you know, it's just one of those things where there's so much passion, and Magic is such a sticky game that just gets people in, and like you can't get away from it. People want to take breaks and come back, but you can't. Once it's in your bloodstream, they fucking got you, and you all know that they got you, man. I mean, it's like the Pokemon gotta catch them all. When they give you a taste of Magic, and you really get into it, and you understand the depth and the mechanics and how complex such a simple game is, they got you for life. You're done. No, Rudy, I'll take a break. I don't like staying. I'm gonna quit. Oh, your ass will be back. Wizard, we'll get you back. Come here, little boy. Yeah, we got some candy over here. Yeah, they're gonna get you back. And anyone who's been around long enough with Magic knows that. So, the faster rotation, I think it's just that Wizards is pumping so many sets out, and the multiple blocks, and I mean, look at this year. I mean, Conspiracy just came and went so quick because of Kaladesh and the Shadows and the Eldritch. I mean, the rate of speed, the specialty products, the From the Vault, the Plane Chase, now the Commander. It's just like, holy crap. I mean, regular people are not going to be able to buy all these products and keep up with it. It's a little much. But the damn products are nice. We all want to buy them. We don't care. Hell, most people go in debt to buy the shit. We don't care. They're nice products. So to see Wizards throttle it back to actually say, hey, we don't want stuff to fall off standard. We want that back domino. We're going to keep it up a little longer. We don't want to kick it off real quick. Why would they do that? So from what I gather, I think everybody's partially right. But again, I don't know what that tipping point was for Wizards that made them do it. Was it that people were bitching and complaining that their cards rotated out so quick and they just spent all this money because they're net deckers? And, they bought them all, and now they're 3 months later, they have to replace half the deck? I mean, I don't know. Was it the fact that Friday Night Magic, FNMs, and PDQs, and promo, all these tours, and everything from Grand Prix to Pro Tours, I mean, were they noticing less of an attendance, less of an overall eyes on the game? Obviously, they saw something. Now, obviously, my bet on what they saw is hands down one thing. It's all about the money. And I think I'm quoting Jeremy on that one, on his video. It's all about the effing cash. Period. Rudy, do you like Kaladesh? Fucking love Kaladesh. Why don't you have any? It's all about the money. It's all about the money. You have to distinguish between a hobby and passion and financial, just fiscal responsibility and it's a whole different thing. It doesn't mean I'm not playing with the cards and visiting people and playing the game. It's still a fun game. The cards are awesome, but my bet is the backpedal for a company. And again, companies, to restate, they can't stand going back on something. That's like the corporate sin. Like, heads will roll. Arr! Like, that is the worst thing possible for a company to have to go through and admit. So that really shows the weighting of something like this. Yeah. So, in my opinion, originally, I guess to make standard this is my personal opinion. I think originally they wanted to speed up standard because they felt it would speed up the sales of packs. The faster you rotate the hamster wheel and pop the things on the back of the wheel off and new stuff comes in, as the population jumps on the wheel, they're going to have to run quicker and throw more money at more packs to keep that momentum going. I think that was the basic core ground floor motive and pretty much idea from a very high level about Hasbro, growth, quarterly earnings, and because you gotta remember, it's like following. I want to pick on like a major company right now. I don't know if I want to go with like a Chipotle or a Netflix or something. I want to pick on somebody, so I'm gonna pick. Let's pick Netflix. Netflix, like the most important thing to Netflix share price and growth rate, nobody gives a shit about how much profit or loss Netflix makes. It's like Amazon. They can report 4 quarters of hundreds of millions of dollars in losses, and the stock still goes up. Nobody gives a shit about raw numbers. It's all about growth rates, so sub count. It's like YouTube. Oh man, hey Rudy. Oh dude, you're like a noob on YouTube. Of course I'm a noob on YouTube. I'm like the most unprofessional effing dude around. I'm not even wearing pants. I'm not even wearing boxers or pants in this video. I mean, I am the least professional, but the thing is, they care about sub counts, subscriber counts. Netflix gives all they care about, the first number that people dig through when they report quarterly earnings, is sub count. And my vote and my guess is going to be that Wizards saw something to do with the attendance or sub count. How many people were showing up? How many people signed on the roster? How many people were signing on that line? How many people were throwing down the money and the credit card? I think they witnessed and saw something. And I don't know what it is, and they're never going to release it unless somebody leaks it on the internet. WikiLeaks talking to you. Come on, get to work. You know, unless something happens where somebody can pull out inside information, we're never going to know the core reason. My money and my bet is they witnessed a financial, not on pack sales, they witnessed something to do with subscriber count. And by that, parlayed to Magic, I mean actual head count in the Magic world, I guess. Not really. That would be my analogy for it, kind of like Netflix with sub counts. They want to know, do we have 300 million people subscribed to Netflix worldwide? 200 million? That's what it's about. Nobody cares about profit or loss on Netflix. And I think it's the same thing with Magic and Wizards and Hasbro. It's about sub count, head count, tournament count. It's about bodies, eyes on the game. And I think somebody somewhere saw something. And I think it rippled through. All the way through. I don't know how high or low with the Mark Rosewater and Hasbro and the exec. I don't know. We have no idea. But something came through the system, and I think it shook things up. And I think they needed a scapegoat almost. I think they needed a way to pick on something. They needed something to really, I don't know, hold against. Something to really just say, hey, that's the witch. Hang it from the state. You know, kick them out, burn them. They needed something. And I think at that moment in time, some of the most common complaints, remember, the voice of a few is always louder than the voice of many. I think the few people that had their pitchforks and their torches were the ones complaining and bitching about rate of standard. Which, I don't blame them. It was kind of too quick. I really do think speeding it up was a mistake, so I can't really disagree with it. But I think the reasoning was not just because, hey guys, we're sorry it's going too quick. I know about... No, it's not about that. You guys know how I feel. It's not about for the fucking people. You guys have heard me say that 10 times, but... You know, we never really know what Wizards does. I mean, they make all these crazy sets. We don't know what set, and they create... I mean, they make this crazy, crazy game with all these levels and depths and decisions every day. And we don't know what the main driver is. Nobody does, again. So... That's my opinion. I think pack sales and overall profit and loss and the player response did have an effect on it, but I don't think it was the number one thing on top of that list that made the knee-jerk change. And it feels like a rush. It feels like it was, holy crap, get it out there. When can we put the press release? Tomorrow morning? Pump it out. It really feels rushed out. And I think people can agree with that. It really feels pushed. So... These are all the conspiracy theories. Like I said, that's my opinion. I think it's something to do with head count. I think it's something to do with, which is a byproduct of maybe a slight dip in pack sales. And I think this, but personally, I think the slight dip in pack sales isn't really due to the rate of speed of standard. I think it's due to the amount of fucking product they're shoving down people's throats. Good God! Hey, Wizards, you guys gonna give me a preview card? Yeah, I thought so. Here's my preview card. This is Conspiracy Rudy. So, I think something is up with it, and I think they definitely witnessed something. But we're never going to know what the details are. Alright, that's enough of Conspiracy Rudy. So, I think it was a combination of everything. I really do. I just, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, with more sets standard legal, it's going to make a bigger basket of cards standard legal. When there's a bigger basket of cards that are standard legal, you know, it makes people more creative. It makes the game more uncertain. We don't know the new brews that'll come up with. That's a positive thing. But at the end of the day, you know, look at what they're doing. Look at the new things. Look at one of the biggest things they've decided to do that nobody's even talking about anymore, which is they're putting lottery cards in every single set moving forward. Magic, in its 23 years of existence, has never put insert cards in every set moving forward. That's something that's been taken from the flair and the flair in the sports card industry, Marvel universe, from X-Men to Spider-Man to sports cards and everything. And non-sports, you know, autograph, wardrobe cards, all that shit. You know, Wizards is adapting some of that. And it still doesn't quite feel like Wizards on some of these decisions. Again, cards are great, but it definitely has a weird feel to it. You know, it has a weird feel. So, you know, they're going to spin it positive things. They're going to spin it as, you know, hey, there's more cards standard legal. You know, hey, there's going to be more brews. It's going to be more creativity. The Bobs are happy because the sales will uptick. You know, Lumberg over here is going to be happy because he's going to come in on Sunday and he's going to look at the Friday Night Magic head counts and they're all going to be up. And Lumberg's going to be happy. So there's a lot of reasons here. But we'll never know the main one. But I think all of them are relevant reasons. But yeah, it all comes down to the money. That's all I really have to say about everything. I don't know what caused it. I'm not really sure what the direction is going to be with it and why they really did it. Like I said, something happened on the reports. Something happened. And that's all I really have to say about it. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Other than that, in the meantime, I guess I'm just going to go... you guys can tell me what you think, and I'm going to head to Taco Bell. See you guys later.